And a very good evening, good afternoon to everyone watching us. We are back again with another round, and this time we are in Britain. So today I am joined in the comms box by Simply YT, who will be co-commentating with me and myself. No more pro player as the streamer, back at it after I guess another some 6 months of being off streaming, but it's good to be back, and none other than the Silverstone track to be able to stream and commentate on. But before proceeding forward, simply what are your thoughts on today's race?
Well, Silverstone being one of my most favorite tracks, so we can definitely expect quite a lot of racing over here, quite a lot of side-by-side action, especially through Maggots and Beckett's. That's one of dangerous yet very fun places to make an overtake if you can pull it off.
Yeah, definitely that is gonna be an exciting thing to watch, and especially fresh off after yesterday's quali. I think if we get some changing conditions today also, it will be a great fun to watch as well. So we are already 13 rounds into this season, and we are left with probably another 3 more rounds to end this season with before we move on to the new game, that is the F123. But without further delay, let's get on board Helium, who has been generous enough to provide us a hot lap of around this track.
And let's go for a lap of Silverstone on board current Tier 1 champion Helium. As we come across the line, start the lap, turn 1, Abbey corner, flat, clip the inside curb, make sure not to run wide on exit. Turn 2 is again flat coming through. Turn 3, important to keep as tight to the apex as possible. Turn 4, loop section, which also consists of turn 5 as well. Very important traction zone coming out of there. Coming on to the Wellington straight, the first of 2 straights on this track as we come through Brooklyn's infamous corner, constantly tightening, important to get a good inside line through there, hook the wheel through the curb, Luffield corner as well. Woodkit is pretty much flat as now we head up to the infamous part of Silverstone, which is the end of sector 2 towards the beginning of sector 3. Cops corner, very hard to get absolutely right. A late turn in ensures you won't run wide on exit. Coming now for the infamous Maggots Beckett section, pretty much just a case of downshift and flick your way through these corners. Only have to really brake for Chapel, and we are officially done for that. Coming into sector 3 now, down the hangar straight, DRS open as we come down to the uphill Stowe corner. Brake just at the beginning of the curb on the right hand side, hook the car in, try to not run wide on exit. Very important to keep it within track limits as we come now down to the Vale chicane, where Hamilton and a couple of drivers went up against each other, and we come across the line again, round the Hamilton straight to get a lap of Silverstone.
That was a blistering fast lap. Quick turnaround of this Silverstone track. It's a 5.8 kilometer track with 18 turns all in all. 2 DRS zones, pretty effective DRS zones. A bit of elevation gain, not a lot, but that's what we have to deal, or the drivers have to deal with today. Let's just wait for them to ready up. They are readying up, but as they are readying up, simply what are your predictions for today's race?
Well, we have seen a solid performance from the Red Bull guys throughout the season. However, last week, unfortunately, because there was only one Red Bull driver on the grid, with that being Dark Knight, against 2 Aston Martins, it's really hard for him to do whatever he can to keep that WCC ahead. With only a few more rounds to remaining in this calendar, it's getting tougher and tougher for both sides to be getting in closer to each other. Although Aston Martin have made quite a few gains, and from what I can tell, both the Aston Martin guys are looking really quick this round, so we could expect perhaps a 1-2 from both of them.
Yeah, definitely. So we will soon see the championship points standings as well as driver standings as the session starts. But as simply pointed out, there is some championship battle that is spicing out towards the end of the season here at Tier 2, and definitely Britain is gonna be an exciting thing and an exciting place to enjoy this championship go forward. Without further delay, let's head over to the weather forecast. It seems like our wishes are not gonna be fulfilled today. It seems like it's fully cloudy or dry throughout the race and quali. But yeah,
Yep.
we should not be losing hope because again, weather is set to approximate and we can definitely see some weather changes. But speaking of driver standings, we have Dark Knight in the Red Bull, carrying the Red Bull there at 220 points, followed by FIFA Kanak in the Alpine. And as you can see, other people are also trailing behind. His teammate ABD28 is not there racing today as well. So Dark Knight will have to again carry the Red Bull flag alone today against the two Aston Martins. I think Ink and Ink. Oh, Ink is also alone in the Aston Martin, right? Today?
I believe his teammate should be joining soon.
Okay. So
He
as
did
of
mark attendance.
as of now, Ink seems to be alone in the standings on the left. But going to the constructor standings, we are having Red Bull at 364 points, Aston Martin following at 301. Even Mercedes is very close actually at 275. So the top three is, I would say, rather the P2 and P3, the Aston Martin and Mercedes are having a close battle in constructor. So we'll have a look on how that goes. But let's go into the quali session as our drivers are starting to come out of the grid.
Yep, we can see already first car out being Ferrari of Alex, Faizan, Tsukuyomi and a few other cars are following him through, this being Dark Knight, his teammate who's on medium. So this has kind of become Dark Knight's habit over the last few weeks, obviously because of having a very busy schedule in real life. He comes here in qualifying and does practice in the first half of qualifying. So this is the only practice he's getting or he's doing throughout the week. So that obviously puts a lot of pressure, a lot of challenge for him to perform well when he has, you know, maybe 1/3 or even less amounts of practice than what he usually used to do.
Yeah, definitely. Let me just see. I think that the keyboard shortcuts are not working for some reason. So I will use the old the old type or the old way to enable everything. But yes, there we have all the details up on the screen. We see Dark Knight has gone out on the medium tires maybe to do some banker laps as of now, but I guess soon he will be switching on to the softs to set the fastest time that he can, since it is a dry session.
Yep, again he's gonna do maybe around half the session, maybe 5 or so minutes on the mediums and then switch over. One more thing I do want to point out is the fact that we have a returning face. What Deepak or Deepakraj, whatever you want to say, he is back after quite a while. He was looking quite solid in the beginning of the season. He was looking like he could be perhaps a WDC for this season, a WDC contender for this season. However, of course, because he had to miss a few races, and of course quite a bit of bad luck, especially at tracks where he could perform quite well, like Monza. He unfortunately was not involved in the WDC anymore, but let's not take it away from him. He is still extremely quick and has a solid chance at a top 3 finishing position here.
Yeah, definitely. We do have him battling out with the other folks, but yeah, he was off for 2 or 3 weeks, but he is back at it, and here he goes. He starts his first hot lap. Going through turn 1 is pretty flat if you take the correct line, but if you mess up the line, you have to lift off a bit. Brake very nicely and easily just before the 50-meter. Misses the apex by slight bit there, but then that propels you through I think the slowest corner of the whole track. So he takes that pretty well. But then yeah, I think he lost a bit on the traction, and especially when he missed the the apex very wide there, completely missing off his braking point, I believe, and going very deep into the previous corner. But this corner seems pretty smooth going forward. We come to the infamous section where Hamilton and Verstappen had their incident, but it is pretty flat. It's no more flat in F122. You have to lift off a bit, and some people tend to downshift as well. That's what we saw from Deepak going into the Megas Begets. 1-1 downshift per corner is what you need to do, and that's what we see from here. As he exits the Beckets, he is turning on his DRS. We have a couple of fastest time being set on board right now. FIFA Kanak with a 1:27.7. That's the fastest time that we have, as Deepakraj is rounding off to the final 2 corners of this track. Perfect braking, takes the apex nicely and neatly. Here the trick is to get on power as quickly as possible. Let's see where he lands up. He crosses the line, not a very good lap, with a 129.4.
Yeah, definitely not the best of laps. He did make a few mistakes, especially going into, I think, turn 3, where he ended up locking his rears. Yeah, exactly. This corner, he locked his rears up, and then a few other corners, of course, he had a bit of a shabby line, so he couldn't properly execute those corners. But yeah, he does have quite a bit of hope, and certainly not bad considering he's also pretty much practiceless, and he's come in after quite a while himself.
Yeah, definitely might be. Oh wait, Deepakraj is driving, so he's definitely driving on Masoom's rig right now because he's right now
Yeah.
in Bangalore. So,
So it's a whole new rig as well for him.
yeah, definitely. And Faizan using the full advantage of no penalty when speeding into the pit lanes there, just dashes into the pit lane for saving some amount of time that he can. Right now we are on board Dark Knight, the person whom we have to see who is topping the Drivers' Championship in Tier 2. He is right now doing his banker laps, maybe going into the pits. Yep, he is. To maybe put on some softs and go out for another run.
Yeah, well, at this point, he has to, because it's been quite a few minutes, and it would actually be a shame if he does stay out for quite a while, because then he's just missing out on that sweet track evolution, and of course the absolute charming grip of the soft.
Yeah, definitely. Right now we see everyone, almost everyone, into the pits, and people are just going back, putting on their new set of softs, and then coming out for another lap that they can do. Sager there being very careful, even though the game does not penalize you for speeding into the pit lane in the quali session.
Good to have a bit of practice before you go and mistakenly do it in the race, because then it's definitely a penalty.
Yeah, that is a valid point that you have put down there. Sukoyomi on a fast lap, but I think he has already used up his soft tires and he has invalidated this lap, so he is not gonna improve on his time, probably going into the pits. But the person who is hoping to improve his time is right there, Ink, who is right now about to start his flying lap. Why don't you take it away simply?
Sure, why not? Turn 1 obviously very flat, although he's lost over 10 kph when compared to Deepak through there. Turn 3, still on the brakes. Remember, he's on full traction control, so ignore his throttle inputs. But, of course, second gear, usually it's third, kissing the apex over here, just taking the right amount. If you take too much, obviously, there's a sausage cup right on the inside. Now preparing for this nice left-hander, off-camber left-hander, taking the apex, of course, just about to go off wide. Be very careful and then go on to throttle, just as how Ink did. A very nice exit from there, using a bit of the track line through there, not updated track, but that's still fine. And then it has to be a downshift through here, but he's chosen not to, staying in 8th, almost flat out for him. Going through the infamous maggots and Beckett, be careful to avoid the sausage curves, and there is a definite downshift through these section of corners. Back on throttle, using a bit of the exit curve, and going off wide yet again. Now, quite a bit of a long straight in itself, and a really quick corner coming up, a very sweeping right-hander on the power very quickly. Be careful to not get close to the track limits there. It's very easy to run wide and do so. Getting really close to the sausage curve, taking almost the Perez line through there, and flat out comes across the line with a 27.8.
Yeah, he's still lacking that 1/10 on FIFA Canuck. So right now, FIFA Canuck seems very confident in where he is. He is although on his out lap, so we will see him maybe improve his time as well, but that was a valiant effort by Ink there. A few of the corners he did lose some time because of his full TC, but definitely still his lines were up to the mark, and most of the corners he was at the apex. Perfect line shown there by Ink. Maybe he will go on into the pits for a fresh set of softs, and again going out with a new pair of softs to set a better time. We do see both the Alpha Tauri sticking behind each other. I am not sure what they are planning to do, but it seems like Sager is just behind Deepak. I think it might be just luck that they have come out just behind each other.
Yeah, has to be. I don't think they're communicating right now, because I don't see them in any VCs unless, of course, they're in their own Discord servers stream VC, then it might be the case. But considering how Sager did slow down to pull away a gap, I don't think so there will be any slipstreaming involved.
Yeah, definitely. We do have both the Alpines also behind each other for some reason. But meanwhile, while we were talking, Arjun Senapati sets the fastest time of the session with a 1:27.70. So that's literally just 8 milliseconds of FIFA Kanak. So FIFA Kanak, we are riding on board him. He has a big task to up ahead of him. He has to set a faster time. Oh, loses a bit on the traction there. It's very challenging to get on power. But if you get the right amount on throttle, you get rewarded very, very generously because of this long straight. But we'll stay on board him and hopefully he does improve on his time. We have everyone out on the track right now doing their second lap, second best lap that they can do. Ignore the yellow flags, that's just the slow moving cars giving way to the flying lap people, and we will be seeing a lot of times coming on the board in the next 1 or 2 minutes before all the drivers decide to go back into the pits for their final run.
Absolutely, track times are certainly ramping up by quite a bit, and I am getting news right now actually that we will be restarting the lobby after the qualifying, and do not leave the lobby, stay in the same lobby.
Oh, and as you said that, FIFA Kanak being a bit too aggressive on his throttle, did not straighten up his steering wheel, although he was 3/10 down on his previous time. So anyways, he will be directly heading back into the pits and will be changing to a new set of softs because the rear tires are gone. Meanwhile, Dark Knight has set the fastest time of the session with 1:27.659. Only around 1/10, yeah, 1/10 faster than Arjun Senapati. So we shall see how that time holds as people are coming across the line, and will they improve or not?
Absolutely, even though it's only a 10th away, it is crucial for Dark Knight to start first, or at least start on the front row of the grid, because FIFA Kanak is only 4 points away, and so far FIFA Kanak has put in quite a bit of a show, especially in the last half of this season, to show that why he's completely capable and worthy of winning the WDC, whereas Dark Knight, he's not had the best of performances, either down to luck or other drivers or whatever, you know, the reasons might be. So it is crucial for Dark Knight to get pole, or at least start in the front row and ahead of FIFA Kanak, even more importantly, so that he can ensure that he at least has a good start to the race.
Yep, we were on board Alex, who was following his teammate Axel Sam in the same car in Ferrari, and Axel Sam just now went from being P13 to P4 with a time of 1:27.8. Man, the times are close in top 5. So everyone is separated by around 2/10. That's all that's separating P1 and P5. So it's everyone's game at this point. Everyone will head back into the pits as we see already, and everyone is putting on their fresh set of softs for a final run.
Absolutely, 4.5 minutes remaining. It doesn't really have to be immediately that they have to leave. However, it would be nice if they do leave at around 2 minutes and 30 seconds or so, because it's a 1 minute 30 second lap. Takes 30 seconds to come out of the pits. So you'll have plenty of time for you to start a lap with close to maximum amount of track.
Man, imagine if everyone goes into the pits and we are just left to commentate on the pit box. Because it seems like everyone is going back into the pits and we might have to pass some time in the comms box with no cars out. Oh, never mind. One of the Alpha Tauris has made our life a bit easy. That will be Deepakraj, who has decided to come out of the pits with around 3 minutes 50 seconds remaining on the clock, while others are in the pits. Like literally everyone is in the pits.
Yeah, well, as you said, other than Deepak, everyone's in the pits. We'll just have to talk about a few things while we're at it. Oh, well, BK19's also to give him a bit of company. But yeah, everyone's pretty much managed their time quite well in this qualifying, because all of them are sitting in the pits right now, other than, well, of course, other than 2, but majority are still in, and I believe they will be coming out of the garage some point now, because now would be a good time to come out. And of course, let's not forget, if they all come out together in a massive bunch, well, then there's going to be just unbeatable traffic, and people like DK19, Deepak, and even Sager, who left quite early compared to others, might get blocked on their hot laps.
Man, damn, I can literally see only 3 cars on the track. That means 10 cars are yet to come out of the pits, although some of them have started their way out of the pits. With just 2.5 minutes left in this session, they have to cross the line as well, and I'm not sure if this is gonna cause a traffic jam, and especially a bit of a discomfort for people who will be starting their hot laps, like as you said, Deepakraj and BK19, who might be having to navigate through traffic as they start their hot lap. But there can be some report that can come forward of blocking on the hot lap as Deepakraj starts his hot lap. We do see the 2 Alpines coming out of the pits right now, but they decide to stick to the far right side of the track, not impeding him at all.
Yeah, well, that's good to see. No impeding done just about here, but Deepak, by the looks of it, did struggle a little bit through those corners. So definitely not the best set of corners that he's had through the first sector, but let's hope that it will be an improvement on his time. It is a green sector, so he is improving, but he's still 3 tenths down on P1.
You know, most of his driving seems to remind me of the ACC line, because that's what you generally do. You go really wide in ACC, but in F1 you have to stick close to the inside apex. But yeah, he did miss the apex there, which costed him at least a tenth or 2 there. So that's what he has to improve. But we should remember that he is on a new rig, on a completely new wheel, so he might be feeling everything, all the settings and all the FFB settings might be different. So he might get used to it as the race progresses, and we should see him improve on his time as the race progresses. But right now he is about to cross the line in 3 more corners to go, as other people are racing to cross the line to start their lap. The Ferrari that we see in the 3rd sector is the last of the bunch to cross the line, so if he manages to cross, so does everyone. So Deepak does cross the line, improves on his time, but is not enough. He is still with a 1:28.5 right there.
Yeah, good effort from Deepak nonetheless, and you can see that traffic issue already becoming quite imminent through the final corner. We can see BK19 as well, who's about to cross the line. He's improving on his time. It was P7, not a bad effort for him. I think the Red Bull and the Ferrari have just started a lap. Next up, I think Sager will be crossing the line to finish a lap. Could be in P11. Yeah, improving through the 2nd sector. Will he continue the chain? Yeah, goes P9. Deepak still falling down to P11. So his efforts were not enough. Axel Sam next to cross the line to start his lap. Qualifying is over, so he crossed the line at the last second.
He wants all the track evolution that he can get. That's the only explanation. But we do have the runners who are about to cross the line now. We do have Faizan, who is rounding off the final corner to cross the line, and we'll see if he can improve on his time or not. This is his final run. He crosses the line, he does improve, goes P9. We do have Arjun Senapati behind him, who is about to cross the line. He does not improve on his time. Unfortunately, he will start in P2. Ing crosses the line, does improve by 1 position, goes P4. We do have FIFA Kanak, who has invalidated his lap, unfortunately, so will not improve on his time. Will be starting P3 unless other people are there to bar him from that position, but it seems like Sai Tarun has also invalidated his lap, so he also will not be improving on his time. We do have Sukoyumi. Oh no, that's not a Red Bull, that's Williams. Oh, that's Dark Knight who is coming across the line. I thought Dark Knight crossed the line, but he does cross the line and improves his lead over the other people, and he has done a 1:27.4 there.
Very good improvement. He's improved by 2 and a bit tenths, but it's a shame FIFA Kanak could not come across the line and finish his lap, because he was going purple through 1st and 2nd sector, whereas Darky didn't have the best of the first sectors. Yellow in the 1st, purple in the 2nd, and a green in the 3rd, so it really wasn't the fastest sector still. But nonetheless, a pole, something that he desperately required, and he's gotten it.
Yeah, definitely he has gotten the pole. He has to get that pole because he needs to etch out his lead in the Drivers' Championship, because we all know FIFA Kanak is following him closely. But this is the driver standings, 13 drivers that we have for race today in Tier 2. We do have Dark Knight, who set the fastest time in his last lap with a 127.4. We have Arjun Senapati following closely with just 3 tenths behind, 127.7. FIFA Kanak in P3 with just 8 milliseconds slower than Arjun Senapati with a 127.7 as well. Ink is with a 127.8. Axel Sam in P5 with a 127.8 as well. We have Alex in P6, BK19 P7, Sai Tarun P8, and Faizan P9, and Sager P10. That's our top 10 starters for today's race. And as Simply was telling, we might have a lobby restart. Is that correct?
Yep. So the drivers are going to retire right after they start, and because it's going to be the same lobby, I believe some sort of setting might be an issue.
Okay, got it. So
Quali results do stay though, so we don't have to do quali all the way again.
yes, that's a very soothing thing to hear, because we have to again sit for an 18 minutes if we have to do quali. But anyways, we will be back at you guys with the stream for the race after we have restarted the lobby. I guess I can just pause for now, because anyways they are gonna have to start the session again. But yeah,
Yep.
just a second. Meanwhile, my co-commentator has gone to investigate on the issue and why the lobby restart is needed. But anyways, right now the drivers are retiring on the track as of now, and we will be starting off the next session soon. Yeah, my co-commentator is back. So any update on why the lobby restart?
Yeah, well, Sai Tarun took the wrong car. He's in the Alpine of FIFA Kanak, whereas FIFA Kanak is in the Aston Martin of Sai Tarun. So there's been a driver swap, a last minute unknown driver swap.
I guess the contracts were signed in the last moment and they just swapped seats. I guess them getting better contracts in different teams, but we do have our coordinators who are not happy with that contract change, especially because we were not informed of it. So we will be restarting the lobby, and hopefully this time they take the correct car is all I can expect. But yeah, as we wait for the lobby restart, what do you think about today's night race? You know, the IRL race that we are gonna have in Silverstone. Especially,
Yeah, go on.
yeah, I think it's predicted to be wet, right? Like some element of wet.
Every race so far has been predicted to be wet, so I don't know how many more wet races we're going to have.
Okay, valid
But
point.
one thing I can say as a Perez fan is I am depressed. And one thing that I can say as a fan of the motorsport is the fight for P2 and P3 is going to be really good.
Yeah, because both the papayas right there in P2 and P3, right?
Yep.
Ah,
Can we, on that note, Dipanshu, I think we'll need a bit of a time off from the stream, so let's quickly go into the Be Right Back screen and we'll catch you guys in just a few minutes.
yeah, definitely. Yep, sorry about that. Had to set the grid, so that's why we took a break because we don't want to do the quali again. But yeah, the grid is set. The drivers will ready up soon, and we should be heading on to the race. The race, which is gonna be 26 laps, and with 13 drivers on the grid, clear weather all throughout is just your normal strategy, nothing exciting in terms of strategy, but that will show us what this grid can do. And definitely based on what we saw in quali, most of the driver, at least the top 5 top 6 were right there within the top within the 2 tenths gap that they had. So it is gonna be an exciting top 5 battle, and obviously safety car can make it exciting. Although I have my speculations on no safety car, because considering this track is very wide, and I doubt people will be taking chances, especially with 13 drivers. So we shall see how the race goes. But Simply is back in the comms box with me. So we are reading up. So we'll soon be heading on to the race itself.
Absolutely, and as you said, safety car chances are quite low, so it's not gonna be ideal, especially when there's only 13 drivers that they bring out a safety car anyways. But yeah, I mean, if there is one for whatever reason, then well, I guess that could spice things up, especially if it's in the beginning or hopefully towards the end, because then it's actually fun, because then the drivers go on to a pair of softs, and then we get to see a nice shootout. I guess you could say it's a sprint, it's a marathon, not a sprint, as the great Sir Lewis Hamilton said.
Definitely, the drivers have readied up, and let's just head back into the game. The drivers are given 1 minute to set their time, set their setup. Sorry, not time. My bad. So set their setup. But yeah, meanwhile we can have a look at all the pit crew T-posing in the pit lane there. So that's something to watch. Man, this bug is there since a very long time, right? I think we have lost.
Yep.
Yeah, there is it is. But yeah, like right now we are waiting for the drivers to do their setups, and then we will be starting off with the race. They are given 1 minute to do their strategies and the setups, especially because it's a start of a new session. They have to be reminded to load their setup, otherwise they will not have their setup. It will be their default setup. So that's why we are giving a bit more time, just so that they can do their setup properly. And soon we will be starting off with the race. Lights out, and it will be away we go.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun GP coming ahead of us, that's for sure. Hopefully not a dominant one like we're going to see today in real life. But rather, of course, something that's going to be fun to watch, like we've seen the last few races where we had multiple cars battling for the lead of the race.
Yeah, definitely. Tier 2 has never stopped to disappoint us. So let's see if they can continue this streak. If they can, then we are in for a good evening, as people say.
Certainly. Indeed, we are.
Yeah, so what are your predictions? Do you think Dark Knight is gonna run off, or FIFA Kanak is gonna give him a fight?
I would love to answer that question, but for the last few weeks, every time I've answered that question, I've been sworn at by the same exact drivers after the race. So I prefer not to speak anything.
Yeah, it's a big issue for as a commentator to have that commentator's curse, and later on get blasted on by them because we did so. So yeah, valid point. I would also keep my judgment for now for myself, I guess, and then we shall see how it goes.
We can just say hopefully the winner wins the race.
Definitely. Hopefully the winner wins the race. As the countdown timer has started, we are only 15 seconds away from starting this race. So get your, popcorn and be ready to watch some awesome racing here. So as I hope everyone has put on their setup, so that's the best hope that I can have. But we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. We do not have formation lap. A small pause for the spectator glitch, but there it is. Away we go. We do see the Red Bull getting FIFA kind of getting really good And three people have spun out into turn one. I did not see who hit them from where, but it just seemed like three people doing synchronous sideways movement. Almost everyone on the soft tires as of now. But Dark Knight is clear right there of the whole commotion that was created between FIFA Kanak and I believe it was Arjun Senapati that were involved in that contact there. This just clears out the way for Dark Knight here. Only challenge that he has right now is Ink, who is right now 7/10 behind him. But it does not seem like he has to worry about it. We do have a couple of hard runners who decided to start on the hard tires. More importantly, I think it was because Arjun Senapati started on the hards. He got a bad start, and FIFA Kanak on the softer compound was able to go side by side with him into turn one, as we saw him pull out to the left side. And I think Arjun Senapati just did not expect him, as we are on board Richin, who is losing his rear on the hard tires right now, and because of that Tsukuyomi gets the position and moves up to P10. Oh, we have FIFA Kanak who sent it on the inside as well.
Yeah, well, to be fair to Regin, he was a PC player on a wheel before, and now he's had to adapt to controller really quickly because he moved countries to further go on with his education. So let's just not take anything away from him. He does obviously have a lot of pace within himself, but of course, being on a controller suddenly from going from wheel is not easy, as FIFA Kanak making a really good move down the outside and sends it down the inside of Deepak. Deepak comes with a switchback on those hards. FIFA Kanak not having the best of grip, obviously, of the line, and so is, oh my god, Tsukuyomi having almost contact with FIFA Kanak. By the looks of it, no damage for either of the cars.
Yeah, definitely. I think FIFA Kanak will be thanking his stars that at least he did not get the damage in the first lap incident, and he can still manage to catch up back to the field. But right now all the players are not making it easy for him, even though they are on the hards and he is on a softer compound. It's not gonna be easy, especially with the experience that some of these drivers bring onto the table, like Deepakraj, who is not gonna get fooled by a dive down on the inside. He knows when to switch back, and that's what we saw him do.
Certainly experienced drivers, like as you said, like Deepak, like Tsukuyomi as well. Although Tsukuyomi, I'd say he's quite new, but yeah, Deepak is not going to let him by. Tsukuyomi, he's trying to defend the inside, but by the looks of it, FIFA Kanak just has that supreme straight line on his hands and flies past Tsukuyomi. Whereas now he has Deepak to defend, or rather attack from. But again, as you said, Deepak's not going to make it easy for him at all.
Yeah, definitely. Only thing that is gonna affect Deepak are his tires, so he's gonna fight to the death. But right now it does seem like he's closing on to Deepak. Maybe he should save some of his ERS as well, because right now he is at 70% of ERS. So not using a lot of the ERS is gonna help him overtake him on the straight. Maybe waiting for the DRS as well, but I don't think he's gonna do that. He is gonna use his ERS and overtake Deepak probably now itself, because DRS is enabled from third lap, and I think it's gonna be a piece of cake. Yep.
Indeed, he sent it down the inside and actually covered off Deepak. Deepak still not giving up though, still trying to fight it, but unfortunately those hard tires just do not have sufficient grip right now. 3 laps in to fight with the mediums.
Yeah, he tried, but he couldn't because of the tire difference that we had ahead. Also, we do have a pack of 3 who are running together, so that's Axel Sam, Sai Tarun and Sager, who are separated by less than a second from each other. The interesting thing is that Sager is on the medium tire, so he has the tire advantage, but it doesn't seem like he is able to close on to the gap there. We do have Alex up front, who has closed down the gap to Ink ahead of him, so that's again a close battle, as Alex misses his apex there, and maybe his chance to overtake Ink in the coming up DRS straight.
Yeah, well, he did mess up that corner. It's still hanging just about, but I think he might seal it. Ooh, very close. The DRS line is here, and he's within the DRS somehow. He's just barely managed to stay within it, so it's not completely over for him yet, but of course that distance to Ink that he has now will be really hard to recover, especially considering how massive the dirty air is in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of the position gained from the start, we do have Ing gaining 2 positions because FIFA Kanak and Arjun Senapati decided to take themselves out or were involved in an incident. We cannot comment that yet because we couldn't see the POV. But yeah, because of that, Ing gains 2 positions, Alex gains 3 positions, and the biggest gainer is Faizan right there, gaining 5 positions. Axel Sam maintaining his position, and Sai Tarun and Caesar both gaining 2 to 3 positions. Biggest loser obviously Arjun Senapati, going all the way from P2 to P12 right now on a charge to get back to the top. We do have Sukoyomi, who has had some incident and has fallen back to P13 as of now, so he will have to do all the makeup again and will have to climb the field again. We do see Dark Knight pulling out more than a second from Ink for a split second there, and that's gonna be a bad news for both Alex and Ink, because once you are out of the DRS, it becomes a bit difficult to chase down the guy ahead, and especially because you will start getting attacked by the guy behind you because he is also in your DRS.
Yep, absolutely. So these guys, they want to avoid making a train as much as possible, but currently, obviously, by the current trends, that's not really going to be avoidable. And Faizan in P4, he's doing quite well, as to stick with the top 3, and of course, we love seeing Faizan do well in the races.
Yeah, definitely. He is the best gainer in the whole first turn fiasco that happened, and right now he is on a charge. He is closing down the gap to Alex, who is ahead of him. All top 4 being in a DRS train at the moment. Let's see how this goes. Faizan does seem to have the least TRS among everyone. Yep, the max TRS that anyone has is Dark Knight. He's just chilling out there. Maybe he has a bit more pace, but he is just reserving it for when absolutely necessary.
Absolutely, and of course, how hard it is to gain the ERS in this game. He might as well just not use a lot, conserve it a little bit in case Ink does catch up. But of course, by the current looks of it, he won't be. Sager is, on the other hand, catching up to Ink's teammate Sai Tarun, and he sent it down the inside quite convincingly there, and Sai Tarun unfortunately has to back off.
Yeah, definitely that was a very brilliant move, a very heartfelt move, as he is gone, and he is gone. As we were talking about him, he is gone. He has left the track, he has left the the battle as of now, so he will be joining P last pretty much, because he has to join safely. So no, actually he is only in P8. Okay, he did not lose a lot of positions. I think it was BK19 who had similar kind of incident, and that's what caused him to lose so much position. Can't confirm on that, did not have a look, but definitely it looks like BK19 also had some incident and he has dropped down to P last at the moment.
Yeah, BK19, he's not really had the best of seasons this season, and this just happens to be another one of those sort of meh performances where he's made a few mistakes here and there, or he's been involved in a few incidents here and there, and that's obviously resulted in him being quite far away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, right now we are on board Arjun Senapati, who is trying to make back all the positions that he has lost after the turn 1 incident, and right now ahead of him are 2 guys. One is the Alpine, that's the Alpine? No, Williams. Okay, one is the Williams and one is the Alpha Tauri of Deepakraj. Right now it does seem like Regin might be under some pressure from Arjun Senapati. Will he send it? No, decides to just scare him off a bit, just a bit, and in turn goes really wide off the track.
Yeah, well, the mind games do obviously play a big part in these sort of overtakes, especially when there's a few cars ahead of Arjun Senapati to overtake, and one of them obviously being Deepak himself. So it's not going to be easy task for him to pull off in the first place, and adding that experience and pretty much skill factor into it, Arjun Senapati does have a lot more work to do to catch back up.
Yeah, definitely. Right now it does seem like people have started to get penalties, so FIFA Kanak is the first one to grab one. Maybe he is pushing a bit too much than what he needs to, and that's what has caused him to get a 3-second penalty there, but that will harm him in the long run because he is right now on a chase to P1. But let's see what the race has to unfold.
Absolutely. We're only 7 laps in. We can't really make a judgment of anything pretty much just yet. Maybe after the pit stops, then perhaps we can get a good idea of things. But currently, yeah, there's no way we can judge anything with 20 or so more laps to go still in this race. Rijin trying his best to keep away from Arjun Senapati and trying obviously his best to get close to Deepak. He has the DRS, but he's chosen not to use his ERS, which is it makes sense, but it's not the best of moves right now. But then again, he's in a very compromising situation. If he doesn't use a bit of his ERS, he's gonna get overtaken by Arjun, who does seem to have a lot more pace than him right now. If he does use all of his ERS and get past Deepak, then he'll be left completely vulnerable from Deepak again and Arjun Senapati as well. So this is why it's really important to save ERS throughout the race and not just completely dump it and then try to regain it in the rest of the race. But and now that he's found himself in this situation, perhaps if he can pull something off from the situation he's in right now, perhaps get very close to Deepak, which he is right now, and perhaps overtake him in the next DRS straight, then I guess he does have a fair shot of pulling away from Deepak.
Yeah, definitely. Right now it looks like Deepak is doing the best of the jobs to be the train engine that we have behind. So the two bogies, that is Arjun and Rijin, are just sticking to the DRS train headed by Deepakraj ahead of him. And he's doing a brilliant job in defending as of now, because I think he's using the correct amount of ERS and at the right places to just stay ahead of this DRS train and not get eaten up by Rijin. So that's something to watch, and behind Rijin, Arjun is getting very impatient because he wants to get past these two people as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Sai Tarun also picks up a 3-second penalty, and that's Deepakraj going somewhere, maybe to cut some grass there on the lawn.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's helped him because Rijin almost closed in, but then of course he had to miss his apex because Deepak was sitting right on it. So that's compromised Rijin to Arjun Senapati, so in a way it's worked out for Deepak. But of course it's not good for gaining the time ahead on the car ahead, which obviously is close to 5 seconds at this point.
Yeah, you heard it here, folks. Going on grass is faster than driving on the track at certain instances, because it literally looked like Rijin could not did lose some time, in fact, in that section. So that concludes it. But yeah, right now again Rijin is still sticking very close to Deepak, trying to look for another opportunity when Deepak does similar kind of mistake, and then maybe go for a move.
Yeah, well, if he wants to go for a move, he has to do it really quickly, because Arjun Senapati has caught up a lot because of Deepak's compromising line, which also compromised Rijin at the same time. So Deepak is in a lot of trouble right now. He could be overtaken by 2 cars in a matter of a very short time. As we can see, Arjun Senapati getting really close to Maggots and Beckets, but of course his exit was not as good. Although he does have a lot of ERS to play with, and he's closing in a lot. So I think he's gone in with a very straight line he set up. Very good on the brakes. Of course, managing to not hit a Rijin Shaw, but he's managed to pick up a 3-second time penalty, which is not ideal. Now going side by side with Rijin through the final corner, and he has to back off because there's a sausage curb on the outside. But the battle is not yet over.
Dude, I have to give credit where credit is due. Rijin had the, guts in him to be on the inside line and still come out ahead of that corner, especially because if you get on power a bit too early, you are gonna spin out. So he knew exactly when to get on the throttle and managed to stick to where he is. Right now we have a battle between Sai Tarun and FIFA Kanak. FIFA Kanak trying very hard to make this move done, maybe climb up the rankings of this timetable that is there after he lost it. But Sai Tarun still not making it easy, and that has brought in Sager into this battle as well.
Absolutely, Sager has done a lot of catch up. That's also kind of helped him, but then of course, as you mentioned, Sai Tarun battling it out with FIFA Kanak has also helped him close in. And Sager will be delighted from it as Alex making a move on Ink. I see Alex and Ink battling it out, although it has settled down just for now. But yeah,
Oh,
Ink
Ink has
going
decided
into
to.
the pits.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
very.
that's really interesting.
Isn't that a very early pit stop? Oh!
That's Deepakraj with another mistake. He's had to let Sager by while he himself has a 3-second time penalty on it.
Yeah, again, Sager, FIFA Connect just pushing whatever he has to the limit, and in that process, again, making a very, very small mistake which costed him one position and some time as well. So he has to do all that effort again, as Ink is the first of the runners, medium runners, to decide to pit for the hard tires. What do you think, the strategy? Is it too early? Is it too undercut or something? Any thoughts?
I'd say it's definitely way too early. In my opinion, a hard medium is always better, especially at this track where tire wear, it's not the highest, but it's not the lowest either. Like if you are pushing lap after lap and not looking after your tires, they can wear out very easily. And being on hards just on the first stint where there's not a lot of grip, it just gives you that a bit of an extra percentage of tire wear that you have in your hands that you can play around with and push a lot more as Faizan picks up a 3-second time penalty. But yeah, being on the hards right now in the first stint will be much better than doing a medium hard. As much as it seems faster, I don't think it really is.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with your analysis there. But right now we are again on board Rijin, who is under attack from Arjun Senapati. But Deepak is starting to form a train behind him. We do have some overtake going in the front. Axel Sam.
Yeah, by the looks of it, Axel Sam.
Okay,
that's
Alex
because
has
they went into
pitted.
the pits.
Yeah, okay. That explains it. The pit entry is a bit weird, so you cross the pit entry guy for some time and then you again go behind him. So
Exactly.
that makes it a bit confusing. But right now, let's ignore the timing sheets. We are on board Arjun Senapati, who is trying to again close into Rijin. The hard runners are left on the track except Faizan, who has decided to stay out on the medium tires for one more lap. We'll see how it affects his race. We do have Axel Sam on the hard tires, who is closing out on him. We will keep an eye out for this as well, because it seems like the medium tires have started to fade and the hard tires are the better tire at this stage, especially if you are 11 laps down on those tires.
Certainly, hards are very quick now, and obviously because of that is Ink and Alex getting really close on very cold tires. Ink almost touching the rear of Alex as well while he was at it. But yes, both are going side by side. Ink does come out ahead of Alex, however. But yeah, the hards right now, despite being extremely worn out, especially on Faizan's car. Oh, never mind, those are the mediums. But yeah, so well, the hards do have a lot of advantage right now on them, and they do get a lot more pace out of them, especially in the final few percentage of wear before they do have to pits. And considering that, talking about pits on the hards, I think they can go easily for maybe 2 more laps before they have to start pitting. So the medium run is going to have a slight advantage for the first 2 laps, but then it mitigates off because then they're going out to the hards, which take 2 laps to heat up. So hard medium definitely will be the faster strategy.
Yeah, I agree with you. Right now the hard runners can go for another 2 or 3 laps, I believe. Yeah, they will easily do at least 3 laps more, and then they will decide to go into the pits for a fresh medium, which will be way quicker with that low fuel load. So right now it's looking really good for all the hard runners. Axel Sam is leading the pack of the hard runners, and right now we are on board Arjun Senapati and Rijin, who are still stuck behind Deepakraj in that train.
Absolutely, Rijin, Deepak, Sai Tarun, and okay, well, let's not consider Axel Sam, but yeah, Deepak, Rijin, Arjun Senapati, all of these guys still are battling it out. One good thing is that even if they're not fighting side by side through every corner, they're still managing to follow very closely to one another, so that is helping them pull off just a tad little bit here and there, which obviously goes a long way at the end of the race, you know, when you have that DRS and you're getting all that time on the straight, whereas compared to, you know, the other drivers who might not be getting such.
Yeah, definitely. Right now we have to keep an eye out for Dark Knight, who is closing around 2 tenths. We do have a yellow flag. That is the Mercedes of Faizan, I believe.
It is,
Yeah.
yep.
Who has gone off in the Megats and Begats exit, or in the mid part of Megats and Begats. How do you lose there? But anyways, he has lost his car, and so his position as well. The cold hearts not doing what he wanted them to do, and that's what has caused him to lose a couple of positions there. Right now it seems like the gap is closest it has been ever between the three folks, but as they pull out to the long straight, the gap just increases. It does seem like Rijin is awfully close to Deepak as he lunges on the outside, but Deepak covers the inside line. Will have the perfect line going into the next corner as well. Oh, he gets tapped from Arjun from behind, and both of them synchronously spin out there. That just frees up the space for Deepakraj ahead of him. A report coming indeed for Arjun Senapati there. I think maybe he misjudged the speed that Rijin was carrying through that corner, but Rijin was just reacting to what Deepak was doing ahead of him. So Rijin is not at fault, but definitely the biggest loser in that battle. Now he is down in P8 and he has a lot of work to do there.
Yep, certainly, and yeah, well, that's gonna be very, very affecting, I guess, for both of the drivers, because they've both lost a lot of time. They've lost contact with Deepak, and Alex is about to lose contact with Rijin, who was unfortunately spun around, and yeah, he's gone past Arjun Senapati, adding salt to the injuries. A 5 second for speeding in the pit lane. Rijin Shaw slows down a lot more than required, but still plenty.
Yeah, plenty indeed. I think both Arjun Senapati and Rijin have decided to go into the pits. Maybe will they get a wing change also? I am not sure, but we do have, these are our first guys to enter into the pits. The hard runners, the first hard runners to enter into the pits. Both Arjun Senapati and Rijin decide to not change their wing, indicating they don't have wing damage, even though we can't see their telemetry in our graphics that we have, but them not changing wing indicates they do not have much of a damage. But yeah, now they are on the fresh mediums. All they have to do is push till the end. That's what their goal is gonna be. And their first victim is gonna be BK19, who is just 1 second ahead of them.
Yep, absolutely. It's not ideal for anyone involved in this case, but it is what it is. It's all a part of racing, and unfortunately, even as reserves, they'll just have to deal with it.
Yeah, definitely. Axel Sam, the guy who was running in P1 on the hard tires, is quitting right now. So he will be looking to gain some time once he has put on the medium tires. Let's see where he comes out. Right now it does seem like he is pretty clear of P2. Deepakraj, who is coming, who has also decided to go into the pits. So the Red Bull of Dark Knight is the one he is competing as. Dark Knight crosses him on the start finish line. So does Ink and so does Alex. So he will come out comfortably in P4 right now. He has the better compound tire, but he has a lot of time to make up. So he has to make up around 4, 5, 6. So around 6 to 7 seconds to Dark Knight if he wants to win this race.
Certainly, that is quite a distance for him to close in. It's not an easy task nonetheless, but yeah, he is certainly capable of doing so. Let's just hope that he can pull it off at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely 7 seconds is the time that he has to close down to, and he will take a lap or two to get his tires into the operating range. So let's see what he can do towards the end of the race. Right now it doesn't seem like anyone is very close to the guy in front. I think FIFA Kanak, we can go on board him as he is chasing down Sager, just 8 tenths behind Sager as of now. And FIFA Kanak still trying to recover from the incident that he had. He has pitted on for the hard tires, which he's gonna take to the end of the race. So it's just him battling out on the track. He does have a 3-second penalty, which is not gonna help him in the cause. But let's see what he can pull out, as there are 10 laps left in this race.
Yep, Again, not gonna be an easy task, but he's not the one to give up ever. So, yeah, he's definitely gonna try and challenge for it as he's flicking his car through those corners. Almost looked like he spun out there, but then again, just that one certain flick really, became quite, yeah, illusional. I guess illusional. I'm not sure what the right word is, but yeah, right now, Dark Knight sitting in P1. With the gap that he has, he'll absolutely be delighted for sure because FIFA Connect down in P7, not going to be scoring as many points. Dark Knight 30 points, which he'll be taking away with him to extend that WDC lead. So we've already sealed one WDC in Tier 3 yesterday. It went to not an influencer. It won't be sealed in Tier 2 today, but yeah, Dark Knight's win will certainly push him ahead by quite a bit when there will only be around two rounds left in the rest of the calendar.
Definitely, right now we do see FIFA Kanak giving all he has. He is going on throttle as early as possible. He does not care whether he spins or not. He just wants to push. So that's what he is doing. He is closing down the gap to Sage it through the Megath and Begath section. Will he carry this momentum onto the Hanger Straight? Is that the name of this straight? I think so. But yeah, he does make the move very easy there.
Yeah, those hard tires, of course, suiting. I think FIFA can set up a lot better compared to Sage's. And that's why it looked like an easy move. Of course, it really wasn't easy to pull off, but yeah, it was a nice move nonetheless. And I think next up will be for FIFA Connect Sai Tarun. Let's not, of course, count out the fact that FIFA Connect does have a time penalty on him, so it's not going to be an ideal situation for him. So right now, the best he can do in the remaining races is try and get as high as possible. Of course, if he cannot separate away maybe a car or two from the 3-second gap, then yeah, he's going to lose those positions. But he's obviously going to try his best to finish as far ahead as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, we are on board. Arjun Senapati on the fresh medium, not able to capitalize as much as we expected, but he is right now going to send it down the inside of BK19. BK19 had to be swept off the track to avoid any further contact, but he barges his way past, and right now he is in P11. So he is trying to make up positions, maybe get into P10, the top 10 that he thinks that he can get to, and we shall see if he can actually get into top 10. We are on board Sager. Actually, let's go on board Alex, who is just 3/10 behind Ink for battle for P2. Both of them no penalties, clean race so far. Both of them on the hard tires, although Ink has since Ink decided to pit one lap before, he is on slightly older tires than what Alex is, and Axel Sam is charging behind them with a fastest lap there. Sai Tarun getting another 3-second penalty, so now FIFA Connect can rest assured that he can get P5 barring any mishaps that happen.
Absolutely, a P5 should at least be on the cards for him. It's not going to be any lower than that. But yeah, it's not going to be the best of days for him. He will be disappointed, but then again, there's a positive to take away from it that on lap what he was, P13 last. So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, definitely making up almost half the grid. Half the grid that we had today is still a great achievement, as Alex tries to cut the corner as much as possible to make it as much straight line as possible, risking a 3-second penalty, but he doesn't care. All he cares is to catch Ink there ahead of him and get P2.
Absolutely, that should be his goal anyways. Ink obviously being a very, very a very experienced guy, he's not going to make it easy at all for him to pull that off, as that is 14 seconds on Faizan now. Not good for his race, but yeah, Ink is not going to make it easy, but Alex is not going to make it easy for Ink to defend either, so it's going to be a very, very tough and fight battle that will be coming up just shortly here. And we can also see Arjun Senapati and Sukoyomi dueling it out between each other. Arjun Senapati's red light is flashing, so he is below 10% ERS, whereas Sukoyomi just has around 30% ERS, still an advantage. but not ideal for Sukuyomi's situation because BK19 is quite close behind him as well. Although Arjun Senapati does have an 8-second penalty, so at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter too much for him.
Yeah, definitely. When we switched to them, Arjun Senapati was making a move on Sukuyomi. That's what we missed. So Arjun Senapati has finally gotten one more position. FIFA Kanak does have 8-second penalty. I was expecting he has 3-second, but I think he got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And what can you say? Even Arjun Senapati, I think, has fallen on the same boat. So both the people who were involved in the incident in turn 1, in lap 1, have fallen in the same boat as each other. So that's what it is there, and we do see Sager still sticking to the rear of FIFA Kanak. So FIFA Kanak is not able to pull a gap, nor is he able to close the gap between himself and Sai Tarun. The gap was before 3.3 seconds, which has now extended to 4 seconds. So it does seem not very good, not very favorable for FIFA Kanak going forward. But we do have Alex, who is still on a charge to catch Ink and get that P2.
Certainly, that charge is always on from pretty much every driver to do so. Ink, well, clearly has been left behind. Dark Knight's pulled away another second or two from Ink. So currently, Alex's job to try and get Ink. And if their battle does, slow both of them down, Axel Sam is there as well. Axel Sam, a very, very seasoned veteran. He's been here for so many seasons. I think he's been here since 2020, the year 2020. So he's been here for a very, very long time. And yeah, he certainly does have a lot of space with him, especially on those fresh medium tires. So anyways, he's catching up to Alex. I think if both the Ferraris can work together to overtake Ink, it's going to be an amazing 2 and 3 finish for the Ferraris.
Yeah, definitely. It does seem like Alex is gonna send it on Megats and Megats. Hello?
Oh, this contact! And I have cursed a 2 and 3 finish for Ferrari. There begins rather my commentator's curse. 21 laps into the race. FIFA Kanak and Sager in the horizon will be right on the tail. Never mind, side by side with Alex. Going through the long right-hander, never to hang straight, but now the long right-hander. Alex's tires very, very hot, pretty much without grip. He'll be struggling for that grip for at least another lap or two, whereas Sage and FIFA Kanak have optimum tire temps. Although Sage definitely would not like the dirtier of another car, it does help him out quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely that was a very unfortunate incident, but again, why would you decide to send it there is what I don't understand. He could have waited for the DRS and the ARS pass, but he decided to send it on the exit of Megats and Begats. A very risky place to make a move, and obviously the minor of the touches is all you need for a spin out, and that's what happened there with Alex. Alex has lost a lot of time and maybe a possible podium finish there. So very unfortunate for him, but right now he has to defend his P5 as well from FIFA Kanak and Sager, who are right behind him within a second gap. So more challenges for him.
Absolutely. That's a lot more challenges for him. And now his P6 finish that we were saying, or P6, P5 finish that we were saying, that could potentially be easy, well, that's been jeopardized by quite a bit now.
We do have his teammate Axel Sam going for a revenge for his teammate right now. Very close to Ink on the softer compound tires, as Alex already loses a position to FIFA Kanak there. Sorry, I couldn't get it on stream. I think he's disconnected. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Alex disconnected at a very crucial point of the race. This is not going to be good for him.
Damn, he lost connection, or did he leave the session because he was done with it? But anyways, nevertheless, he's gonna lose a couple more positions because of that disconnect, and right now I guess we can get back to the battle that we have between Axel Sam and Ink. Ink has been defending for his life and will have to defend a bit more from the Ferrari teammate that was just unlucky and sent it in the wrong place. I am still not sure why he decided to make that move. Maybe we are missing a prequel to that. Maybe Ink went off the track and he was trying to rejoin, or something like that might have happened. I am also not sure. So we cannot comment, completely on that move. So unless we have the full big picture. But that looked like a very unfortunate place to send. But it does look like Ink is losing a lot of time in the Megas and Megas. I seriously think that his setup is very low downforce. That's the only explanation I can come up with. As Axel Sam pulls out to the inside, easy move done with the DRS ARS. That's what Alex should have done last lap.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Alex could not pull it off despite his very, very hard attempts. And his teammate Axel Sam on the other hand has managed to do it. And remember, he's on this meeting. Those tires are still pretty much fresh, and that is yellows for who I think. Oh, that's Alex again. He's back in control, and he has spun out.
I think he took control at the very wrong time. I think his car was just going through that corner and then he decided to take control. But again, he was battling with Faizan in that corner. So maybe there was some kind of contact in that corner that sent him spinning. So that can be a possible cause, as he gets another 3-second penalty. He's just going bad to worse for this man here.
Absolutely, it's not been an ideal condition for him at all. He was running the top 3, top 4 for a very, very long time in the race, and now unfortunately he's in the bottom 3. It's still some sort of a 3, but it's just the wrong 3. But yeah, it's just really, really bad to look at just how much a little bit of a mistake can do in your race when the grid is this close to each other, and plus his tires are pretty much dead. So from here on out, with the penalty that he also has on him, I think it's just going to be making sure the tires can reach until the end, and that's Tsukuyomi with another 3 seconds.
Even Faizan racking up those penalties like it's biscuits. So he's gonna lose a lot of positions right there because of his penalty. I guess he is now at 17 seconds. Yep, I was correct. So 17 seconds is what he's gonna lose. I think he's gonna come out in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He might be P last there actually with those 17 seconds. So not making his case very strong there, Faizan, even though he's in P7. Just because the field is so close, he is gonna lose out so many positions because of his time penalty. We did see Alex make a move on Tsukuyomi, or rather Tsukuyomi giving the place to him. I'm also not sure what happened there, but there was no fight put up there, and he was just let by very easily, very simply. I guess Tsukuyomi thinking about the long run. Anyways, he knows that he's not his battle, and maybe not to impede someone with a much greater pace than what he is having at the moment.
Yeah, certainly. It's just not good for him, considering that it's going to ruin all of their race paces. With only a few laps to go, it's really not worth to be carrying out such risky moves and such risky things.
Right now, Sager is trying to get back the pace, the place that he lost to FIFA Kanak a couple of laps back. Only 4:10 separates them with just 2 laps to go. So let's see what he can do. He is sort of improving on his it's his personal best sector, but his tires are not looking very happy. It is completely orange in the front, but I think Sager's FIFA Connect's tires would be even in a worse case. Yep, they seem equally bad, considering that he pitted 1 lap before Sager. So Sager on 13 lap old hard tires and FIFA Kanak on 14 lap old hard tires. So let's see if there is a move possible, as he comes really close to the rear of FIFA Kanak there. What do you think is gonna happen here, Simply?
Well, hopefully no contact is what I hope for. They just all Sager has to do really is just make sure he stays alive on this last lap, and he will get FIFA Canuck's position. That is all he has to do. If he does go for an ambitious move, and if it does turn out for the worse for him, well then that's his P5 potential over.
Yeah, definitely. Sager, FIFA Canuck does have a penalty, so he should be thinking in terms of that, because right now there is no need for any risky moves. He can just stick behind where he is. No need to be ahead on the track because you are anyways gonna get the position.
Certainly. Just wait it out, just play it out,
Ooh.
consider it a good race, and that's it.
So that 3 seconds confirms that Faizan is gonna be P13 at the end of this race, if there was any doubt whatsoever. But yeah, we do have Dark Knight who crosses the line in P1, Axel Sam in P2, and Ink is crossing the line in P3. His teammate crosses the line in P4. Very good day for Aston Martin today. FIFA Kanak crosses the line in P5, but because of his penalties loses the position to Sager. Faizan crosses the line, but he is gonna lose out all the position that he has. Deepakraj crosses the line in P10, but because of his penalties gets promoted to P7. PK19 also gets promoted a couple of positions, and because of all the penalties coming into play, there has been a lot of position swap, which we will go through in the final leaderboard screen.
Certainly, too many position swaps for us to keep count of, but yeah, a very, very good race nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. Considering that P1, the distance between, the time difference between P1 and P13 was probably what? I think not more than 20 or 30 seconds. So still no one getting lapped and a respectable finish there. But Dark Knight again taking the P1 position and, making sure he gets the Drivers' Championship in this season. And obviously Aston Martin getting the P3 and P4, trying their best to catch up to the Red Bull in the constructor standing. So after this, definitely the gap will be a bit more smaller, but not that much effect considering that Dark Knight is carrying the Red Bull flag as of now.
Absolutely, it's a very good race for Dark Knight, just what he needed coming from this race. And it's a very bad race for FIFA Khan because this is exactly what he didn't want from this race. But yeah, an unexpected face on the podium, Axel Sam, who's again been here for 3 years now, and his first podium on any crossplay or on PC. Actually, yeah, it's his first podium on the PC platform. So a very, very big congratulations to him.
Yeah, definitely. As we wait for our podium finishers, it was a very exciting race to watch nonetheless. We did see a lot of position swaps, and definitely throughout the race there were battles that were happening. So we already have a couple of podium finishers in the VC right now. Let's start off with P3 Inc. So how was your race? Can you give us more light on what happened into turn 1 between FIFA Kanak and Arjun, and what were your thoughts towards the end when Axel Sam was actually overtaking you?
Yeah, and so regarding the first turn, I think they were going 3 wide with Darky on the outside, middle. I think it was Arjun, and on the inside it was FIFA Kanak. And it was that moment, when Ravi Shastri said, "Thodi der ke liye muh mein goti tha." That proper moment. Thankfully, both the cars ghosted, or else like it would have been a pile up into turn 1. Then towards the end, what do you say? He was too quick. Axel Sam, I tried to defend, but I think he's doing no TC, no line, etc. So he's rapidly quick. I thought of keeping him behind. I thought like his tires will wear out, so then I'll be able to get the P2. But he was super quick towards the end. So like I think all the medium runners were same. Overall, the race was good. I enjoyed this track. Good fast flowing track, but. Dark Knight and Axel Sam were too quick for me. I pushed every lap, each and every corner, but unable to get them. But happy with the podium after so long.
Definitely. Can you shed some more light on the incident between you and Alex, actually?
Yeah, it was a what you call wheel banging. Like he came and hit my wheel and then spun. We are going side by side. I think enough room was not given by him on the outside. I think it is the nature of a corner too. I don't know. I'll have to analyze it. But from my POV, I was on the extreme left, and I think he slowed in a bit, and then wheel contact. You know how the game physics is.
Yeah,
so hard luck he spun out, but it was good by fighting both the Ferraris.
Yeah, definitely. We were also expecting for a P3, P4 Ferrari finish at least, but at the end it didn't happen. And we did catch the last moment on the stream when both of you were having some wheel contact and going through maggots and baguettes. And we were also not expecting it to be a very good outcome. But yeah, at the end it is what it is. At least his teammate was able to get to P2. So moving on to Axel Sam himself. So Axel Sam, how was your race? I think it wasn't very eventful till towards until the last part, because you did what your strategy was, hard to mediums, correct?
Yeah. Actually, I was struggling with the people who playing with crashes. That's a little bit messy, but yeah, thanks to there was no safety bar. That didn't ruin my strategy.
Yeah, definitely. How was your overtake on Ink? Simple, hard? Were you communicating with your teammate? Were you guys in the same VC? What was the reaction? Okay. So what was your thought process when your teammate was ahead of you? Were you thinking that maybe because of their battle you will get some advantage there?
Yeah, I wanted to help him also, but I have seen that he's fun with some collision happening sort of thing. And yeah, I actually had pace, so I didn't go for any aggressive move. It was easy out.
Yeah, definitely. That was a very wise move. That's what even we were observing on the stream, that you made the pass on with DRS and ERS. So rather than going side by side in maggots and bayets, it's better to wait it out and get a better exit. So brilliant race by you, coming P2 with a brilliant hard medium strategy. And I think the contact between Arjun and FIFA Kanak in the first turn did help your cause to get this P2 position that you have today. So congratulations on your P2 finish. And moving on to the winner of the race, Dark Knight. So, very boring race, I guess.
Yeah, it was boring.
Okay.
It was boring after a while.
So that's all the interview that we are gonna have with him, because he's gonna get the Max Verstappen treatment in the Red Bull, in fact. So no TV coverage, not much on stream as well, and so after interview also nothing much for this man to do than just keeping up in front. But yeah, brilliant drive from you for not making any mistakes and not getting any penalties to make your situation worse towards the end. But yeah, brilliant P1 finish. This will help create that gap between you and FIFA Kanak in the Drivers' Championship.
Yep. So yeah, that is a good FIFA Kanak finished a little bit further down. Last race was a disaster, so this race made it up for it.
Yeah, definitely. With 3 more races left in this season, we hope you all the best, and we'll see you in the next race. But that's it from us and from our stream today here at IRC. We will again tune back. We might not be having the Tier 1 race today night, but again, tune back for the next stream that we have in ACC probably next week on Friday, and we shall see you then. But if you like what you watch, do consider subscribing to us and giving us a thumbs up, and do consider joining us, our community, if you like motorsport in general and want to participate in one of our ACC or F1 leagues. We will soon be starting off with the new game as well in F1. Probably in a month or so do consider joining us. But that's it from me and from Simply. Thanks Simply for co-commentating with me, and that's it. See you next time in the next IRC stream. Bye bye, take care, and good evening.
Stay hydrated.